Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) has awarded its 2017 crude oil term contracts of about 1.31 million barrels per day (PBD) to 39 companies. Amongst are 18 Nigerian companies, 11 international trading houses, 5 foreign refineries, 3 national oil companies, and 2 NNPC group trading arms. NNPC said the contracts worth a total of more than $72 million per day at Tuesday's crude oil price of around $55.60 per barrel, were each for 32,000 barrels per day BPD, apart from Duke Oil Limited, an NNPC group subsidiary, which was for 90,000 BPD. Nigeria typically produces just over 2 million BPD of crude oil, and its 2016 output was hobbled by militant attacks. China's Sinopec and India's Indian Oil Corp were among the winners, as were international firms including the trading arms of BP and Total and trading houses Litasco and Glencore. While ExxonMobil, Shell and Eni, trading houses Mercuria and Telveras, Vito's trading arm, and refiner Saras, all of whom were on the 2016 contract list, was absent from this year's lists. Rwandan government said the target in the Second Economic Development and Poverty Reduction Strategy EDPRS2 and Vision 2020 is still within their reach despite a short period left to the deadline for the midterm development roadmap, and among others with the project's income per capita to reach $1,240 against economic growth of 11.5%. The Director General of National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda, NISR, Yusuf Murangwa, said the recent report published in March last year put GDP per capita at $720 from $221 in 2003. That next figures on GDP per capita would be released in March. This means that by the end of 2020, the current GDP per capita must increase by at least 60% to hit the Vision 2020 of $520 aspirations, has to increase by about $173 per year for the next 3 years. Rwanda Finance and Economic Planning Minister Claver Gatete said over the past few years, several projects were set up to deliver the country to the set position of $1,240 by the year 2020. Rwanda's current growth is estimated to have reached 6.0% over the course of 2016 as per the results for the first and second quarters of 2016 from NISR. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, is now predicting just 1.4% growth for sub-Saharan Africa in 2016, which means that Rwanda is growing 4 times faster than the regional average. The concessionaire for Uganda's railway network said very few Ugandan indigenous companies are taking advantage of the improved railway network to import and export large volumes of goods. Uganda's railway network said foreign firms have taken advantage of the vacuum to monopolize the logistics business as a result of inputs required for all big infrastructure projects are imported, and the foreign exchange that Ugandans will be earning from the business is being repatriated to the countries of origin of companies. The Mukono Inland Container Depot manager, Mr. Bruno Kamushime, stressed that Ugandans are afraid of risk, which is now affecting the country as the main importers and exporters of foreigners, that the Ugandans do consolidated cargo and which facility is benefiting the country. Mr. Kamusine explained that the foreign companies contract ROVR railways to transport the goods from Mombasa to Mukono because of the cheap transportation costs offered by the railway line. With Prime General as the major importer of paper into Uganda, also mentioning Bolor Logistics, Spedag and Mitchell Courts are handling imports for companies such as Uganda Electricity Generation Company, which is currently undertaking construction of hydropower dams. The Executive Director, Uganda Export Promotional Board, Dr. Eli Twineyo Kamusiga, said since Uganda is a free market economy, investors see it as an opportunity to register the companies in Uganda, and there's no way they can support them. The cabin crews of British Airways are planning to stage a 48-hour strike from January 10 after Unite members voted by 7-1 to reject a pay offer from the airline. Unite official Oliver Richardson said British Airways is needlessly provoking the strike action by refusing to extend the mandate of the strike ballot and allowing meaningful talks to take place. Richardson added that British Airways refused to listen to the reasons why mixed fleet cabin crew rejected the offer negotiation, but instead they sought to try and bully a workforce of young men and women who were trying to eke out a living on poverty pay. There were strikes planned for Christmas Day and Boxing Day, but the crew called it off to allow for talks at the British Consolation Service ACAS. The strike action is being taken by mixed fleet cabin crew who joined British Airways since 2010 because their earnings is not as much as their colleagues. And other stories from other African countries. Zimbabwe Ministry of Local Government, Public Works and National Housing has approved Bulawayo City Council 2017 budget at $107,457,120 from $48,109,346, with residents given a reprieve after the local authority opted not to impose any tariff increases. The approval of the budget earlier this year came as a surprise to many, as the local government ministry normally delayed decision on budgets, thereby compromising on service delivery. Bulawayo's 2016 budget was only approved after council was forced to factor in a lot of reforms, including salary cuts for top management and retrenchment of some of the employees. The effectiveness of the budget hinges on the availability of funds, so ratepayers are therefore encouraged to consider the payment for services a priority in order for council to continue providing services. The city's senior public relations officer, Nesisi Mpofo, extends its gratitude to the ratepayers who are mindful of their role as partners in the development of Bulawayo by honoring their obligations to council as they made it possible for the city to function. She added that the Parent Ministry ordered the local authority to reduce the level of debtors and creditors figures and also aim at attaining the 30% to 70% salary to budget ratio requirement. South Sudan President Salva Kiir has sacked 2 governors, the Twig State Governor Bona Panek Bia and his Gongora state counterpart Abraham Gum, and also replaced 2 officials from 2 newly created states on Tuesday. President Kiir, in a separate decree, appointed former Twig State Finance Minister Con Manuel Cole as the new state governor, replacing Bia, and in Congrel, Gregory Dench Kwach Adol was made the governor. The appointment of Adol as in-law to the president has drawn mixed reactions from supporters and political allies. The people of Gregora State congratulates the president of the Republic of South Sudan, General Kiir, for his wise decision to respond to the people's thirst for change. We'll go on a short break now. More news when we return.